Oh yeah.
What's up guys? Welcome back. So as promised, today I will be reviewing the new Stealth Carbon Air 32 Mach 1 from PSE. I know that's a mouthful. Lots of people are just calling it the Mach 1. Lots of really cool new stuff on this bow. You know, we got to shoot the demo of this a couple weeks ago, but it was just a 60 pounder. But I was really impressed with that, so I was really looking forward to getting the 70 pounder in today. So as always, I'm going to start with just the technical specs on things, and then we're going to run it through the chronograph at 30 inches and at 28 inches with a multitude of different arrow weights to kind of give you guys a good feel of what this bow can do. So as the name would suggest, it is 32 inches axle to axle. This bow IBOs at 332 feet a second, which may sound a little slower than a lot of the flagship bows out there, but it holds really true to spec, if not overperforms a little bit. It has a 6 1/8 inch brace height, so pretty on par with most flagship hunting bows out there. Has a mass weight of 3.5 pounds out of the box, so crazy light bow. PSE also makes the only true all carbon riser. So Hoyt's, you know, most of the riser is carbon, and then right about here on each side it transitions into aluminum, and that's what the limb bolt is based on. This is actually truly carbon from end to end. The draw length on this particular model will go from 25 out to 30.5, so pretty standard in adjustment there. So covers a really wide range. You know, anybody really can shoot this bow, which is really nice. Still has the Evolve cam system, which if you've seen my other reviews, this part might be a little bit redundant because it's the same cam system that's on all their, you know, their flagship bows this year. It's the, like I said, the Evolve cam system. This is the high let-off version, so this one will go from between 80 and 90%. You can order it with the low let-off version, which will go between 65 and 75%. So for you low let-off shooters, like a little more holding weight, a little more responsiveness, you do have that option to order in the lower let-off. You know, there is a little bit of a speed difference. It seems to be about 2 to 3 feet a second for every 5% that you jump. So the lower the let off, a little bit faster it's going to perform. And that's just because that cam doesn't waste any energy getting out of the valley. That energy is transferred directly into the string, thus the arrow, and just pick up a couple feet a second. So today I'm actually going to be shooting it at 85, so right in the middle. I think that's where most people are probably going to end up shooting this. So I just kind of, you know, gave the most common denominator there in terms of let off. So some things that they have done different, and I'm going to start with the grip. So last year on the carbon models, the grip was a major complaint with people, and the reason for that was it wasn't wide, but it was really deep. Like it wasn't this thin here. It was really deep, and you know, I don't know if there's an industry standard, but it seems like for some reason when you have a real deep grip like that, it's off-putting in your hand. Everybody's used to a much smaller one where they can just relax those fingers. You know, they kind of come down like there, and with that one they're kind of stuck out here like this even when they're relaxed. So guys felt like their hand was a little bit tense maybe. So still, you know, really nice flat back on the grip there. This one does not come with the synthetic grip option, so it's just the carbon riser. Now because it's carbon, it doesn't get cold like an aluminum riser will, so it eliminates that problem by being carbon. Some guys might wrap it with like a small little tennis handle if they want a little bit, you know, a little bit more, I guess, abrasion on there. Not so much abrasion, but a little more just grip. You know, if your hand gets real sweaty or wet, this carbon, you might slip around on it a little bit. But a really, really comfortable feeling grip. I really, really like this grip. Also, on the limb position, following suit with like all the NXT Evos, the limbs are a lot more parallel this year. And because of that, this bow has significantly less hand shock. You know, last year's model, it was a good shooting bow, it was accurate, but being, you know, 3.5 pounds or 3.2 pounds, whatever it was last year, and a little more vertical limbs, it really jumped forward on you. And had quite a bit of vibration there, and they've really, really calmed this bow down a lot. On top of that, just like with the Evo NXTs, you know, getting that limb angle a little more parallel like that enables you to be able to keep the axle to axle shorter, but lengthen the riser. So this bow holds like a longer axle to axle bow would have last year. Like maybe want to have like how one of the 35s would have, even though it's still only 32 inches axle to axle. So those are some really cool upgrades there. Just like all the other bows, they've got this great cable slide and cable guard system. It's on rollers, both on the slide and on the guard here. I can also adjust the pitch of it in and out to aid with tuning. So if I'm, ripping tail right or left, I can manipulate that a little bit by running this in and out. It also has, just like the other bows, the spacer system here in the top cam. So let's get in there so you can see that. So you can see just those little shims right there. So there's I think three of them or four of them on the right side on this and just one on the left, so you can mix and match, push that cam right or left, again aiding in alleviating a right or left tear. So leave that rest right in center shot, push the cams one way or the other, play with your cable guard. You should be able to get a perfect hole through paper without ever taking your rest out of center shot, which in my opinion, any high-end bow these days should have that capability. I really don't like bows that limit you to moving the rest or having to like shim the limbs themselves. I don't want anything getting shifted around in the limb pockets. Speaking of limb pockets, still the wedge lock limb pocket system on these. Super solid limb pocket system, no play, very well made, and just a really good system overall. You do have your string stop on this, which is adjustable in and out a little bit. So generally you want to get it to where you just have about a credit card's width in between, maybe a little bit more. You don't want it hitting that before the arrow is off the string, because that'll totally give you a false read through paper. So it's there to stop the vibration after the arrow leaves, not actually stop the string itself. So yeah, lots of upgrades on this bow. I was really impressed when I shot this earlier. And again, this is right-handed, I shoot left-handed, but I can still get a good feel for the back wall, how much vibration there is in the shot. It's incredibly solid back wall. I was shooting it at 80% earlier. I just moved it up to 85. It did have a little bit of a hump in the draw. I think that like the 33 drew a lot smoother. This bow did seem to have a little bit more hump in the draw. Now again, drawing right-handed, I don't have the greatest feel for that, so I'll leave that up to you guys when you shoot. Everybody's gonna have a different opinion on that. But I really think you guys are gonna like this bow if you're looking for a new bow. Like I said, at 3.5 pounds, when you get your full quiver full of arrows on there and you get your stabilizers on there, you're still gonna be probably just a little bit over what like a Matthews bow would weigh without any stuff on it. So really cool for guys that like to either they're packing their bow a long way, or they're shooting in the mountains, they're breathing hard, a real heavy bow is just hard to hold for them. This is the answer. So I've got my chronograph set up. I'm gonna get the camera gear moved over there and run some arrows through this thing and see what it does by the numbers. So stick with me, I'll be right back. All right, so I got the chronograph all set up. Again, this first test is at 30 inches, 85% let off, 70 pounds. I've got arrows ranging from 501 down to 376 grains, so kind of a full spectrum of arrow weights, whether you're shooting an elk arrow, whitetail arrow, or 3D arrow. So I'm gonna turn the light on here. And let's see what this thing can do. So first arrow, 501 grain arrow. Definitely has a little hump right before it breaks over. It stacks pretty good there. .290. So 501 grain arrow going 290. That is some serious knockdown power. Next arrow here, this is a 472 grain arrow. Yeah, right there. .295, so 5 foot a second jump. This definitely draws stiffer than either of the Evo NXTs did. Granted I'm right-handed, so I'm making this look a lot harder than it actually is, just because 70 pounds with your offhand is a lot of weight. But it's got a little bit of a hump. I will say though, there is no hand shock. There's a little bit of just a little bit of a jump, or like a thump almost, like somebody's just lightly flicking you in your palm, but there's no vibration. This is a 458 grain arrow. .301 with a 458 grain arrow. This is a 420 grain arrow. Oh gosh, weakling. 313. So that is moving. I mean, 420 is like a very common weight, and I know that's at 30 inches, but that is, for a bow that only IBOs at 332, that is screaming fast. And so now, here's your 376 grain arrow. I'm expecting this to be up in the 320s. .329. So it's only 3 feet off of IBO, what an IBO rates at, and that arrow is 26 grains heavier than what the IBO rating is at. So I would say that at 30 inches, this bow actually, it under promises and over delivers, which is awesome. So I'm gonna go set the cams at 28 inches, and we're gonna run the same test with the same arrows. So I'll be right back. All right, so got the mods switched back out to 28 inches. So again, this test is going to be 28 inches, 70 pounds, 85% let off. Jump right into it here. First arrow, 501 grains. .268, so still almost 270 feet a second at 28 inches and a 500 grain arrow. That's pretty ridiculous. That's some really good speed. This one's a 472 grain. I will say I don't notice as big of a hump in the draw at the shorter draw length. .275. This is a 458 grain arrow. .279, 280. Next one is a 420 grain arrow. This would be a really common weight that somebody at this draw length would probably be shooting. .287, so almost 290 at a 28-inch draw length. That's impressive. And then last but not least, the Speed Demon, 376 grains. .302. So there you have it. All right, so final thoughts on this bow. I am extremely impressed with this bow. You know, last year PSE and their carbon models left quite a bit to be desired in terms of hand shock and the feel of the bow in general. They listened to the consumers, they addressed all those issues, and they did a great job making the necessary corrections. I was really impressed with the speeds. In fact, my Mathews Traverse, it IBOs at 6 feet a second faster than this bow. But so I'm shooting a 492 grain arrow at 30 inches, and I'm getting about 284, 285. This shot a 500 grain arrow at 290. So even though it IBOs 6 feet a second slower, it actually shot 6 feet a second faster. So that's a 12 foot a second jump with a 10 grain heavier arrow. So really impressive speeds out of this. I love when companies under promise and over deliver. I feel like there's a lot of bows out there that just write a number for the IBO speed rating, and the bows never really quite hit that. So I really encourage you, if you're looking for a new bow, whether it's carbon or not, go check out these PSEs. We've been putting it in the hands of everybody that's come in looking for new bows, and so far we haven't had any negative feedback to it. It's a heck of a shooting bow. It's got pretty much everything you're looking for. You know, whether you're going to do hunting, 3D, combination of both. You know, it's got a good axle to axle. It holds well. You know, to 6 and an 1/8 inch brace height. It's plenty forgiving while maintaining really good speeds. It's a very efficient cam system. You'll even get a little more speed if you shot it at the 80% let off instead of the 85s. So if you have any more questions on this, please feel free to comment in the comment section below or hit us up on Instagram at inside_out_precision. I'm still getting some questions on the Amazon links, even though I've said it in the last 4 or 5 videos. So all the links to Amazon are in the video description of all the videos on the channel. So go there. If you're looking to get some new gear, you know, we got a lot of mostly clothing on there, like hunting clothing. If you know, looking for some new gear and want to support us, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Doesn't cost you anything more, but Amazon gives us a little kickback for using the link that we provide, and it's a win-win deal. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. We really appreciate that. And yeah, I really think you're gonna like this bow, so go check one out at your local PSE dealer. I do want to say, and I apologize if this ruffles some feathers, in the first video I did on the Evo NXT31, I said that we could tune and ship these bows. My PSE rep actually told me we cannot do that, so they did some restructuring in their dealer program and we can no longer send PSEs, so I apologize for those of you who were excited for that. You can always send us a bow if you buy it somewhere else and you want us to tune it. We do that all the time, but you know, your local pro shop should be able to take care of you just fine. So again, thanks for watching. Keep it in the middle until next time, and remember, precision is a decision.